everybody, and welcome to Thriving at Work Expert Interview. And today, I'm really thrilled to have Kimberly with me. Kimberly, how are you?
Claire, so good. Thank you so much for having me today. What a great audience. What a great show. I'm super excited to be here.
It's amazing how we connected. Just one second comments on social media, and then suddenly we just like connected, we've spoken, we emailed, and and here you are with me, all the way. Where are you based actually?
I'm in San Diego, California.
Oh wow. And San Diego, Claire in Jersey, little island between France and England. It's amazing, isn't it, how technology enables us to do all those things. So Kimberly, you're quite inspiring. You've done quite a lot. You're a keynote speaker. You've written books, audio books as well is quite your thing. You're helping entrepreneur. Really, you've got a company you funded, Entrepreneur Rocket Fuel, which that's a cool title.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing all that then?
Well, actually, I have been an entrepreneur full-time for about 8 years, but before that, it wasn't always like that. I actually was in a corporate environment for a Fortune 1000 company here in the U.S. For about 17 years, and I like to say that about 15 of them were good, and the last 2 not so much. And then I decided to become a full-time entrepreneur, and then I built my own business to 7 figures and had employees. And actually the entire business that I was in was staffing. So knowing about employees and what helps employees to thrive is certainly, something that I was really excited to be a part of on your show.
Yeah, and I think also, Kimberly, when you are an entrepreneur, you're not necessarily talking about 200 or 500 employees. It's a smaller team, isn't it? And so they've got different challenges. So what are the biggest challenges you're seeing kind of smaller teams like that?
In smaller teams, I think really the mistakes and the challenges that a CEO will make, oftentimes the person who's owning the company will be hiring their friends or their family or people that they know, like people that are right there in their immediate community. And that's great because they have that loyalty and they have that, they have that partnership with you and they have that solidarity and they have that support and they want you to succeed. And that's wonderful. It is truly wonderful. That's the huge positive. And then somewhat the negative of that is they're not always the best qualified for it, right? They're not always the best person that you could put in that role skills-wise and experience-wise. And while that's trainable, sometimes even people will put people in a role and they'll say, oh, you could do all my social media for me. And that person really has no experience doing social media or whatever it is. It could be anything, sales or, picking up even admin work. And they're just not the right person for that job, but they do have that loyalty. So I think that's probably the biggest trade-off when you're an entrepreneur is finding people. Do I find people that I know, that I trust, or do I find people that are the best qualified that I really don't know anything about?
Mm. And it's difficult already as an entrepreneur to kind of let it go, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's that moment when you started to take your first employees and then the second one, and you have to let things go. And am I really trusting them that they're going to do, the same as me or what I'm asking them to do? And that's really quite important. And I always say our values are always an important part of how the recruitment that we do, because obviously if they have the same values as you, it kind of aligns with itself, but it doesn't always work like that, doesn't it? It doesn't in reality. It's a bit more difficult to align.
I think the first employee any solopreneur should hire, and this is a strong recommendation, and it's really probably the one of the things that really can launch an entrepreneur into owning a business instead of having their own job. And the difference is that they hire somebody to be a firefighter for their company. And what that means is it's the first line of defense when the customers call, right? So if something goes wrong or a customer needs help or a customer needs a response right away, if you are that person, then you can't remove yourself and start planning on strategy because you're always firefighting. You're dealing with emergency issues from your current clients. And when you get bigger and you have, a lot of current clients, that's really the first line of defense you need is a firefighter. Somebody who can answer the phone, who can be there. It doesn't have to be 24/7, but who can be there when you're not, right? Who can handle those issues so that you can go and have a vacation, right? Or go on a cruise cruise or be on a beach drinking a Mai Tai, which is your goal as an entrepreneur, right? And you can't really do that unless you can turn it over to somebody else that you know that can handle that task. So my number one suggestion for entrepreneurs when you're ready to step out is to hire somebody who can be your firefighter.